Good morning, everyone. My name's Denitha Bro. As Deputy Registrar of the Ontario College of Social Workers and Social Service Workers, I will be the MC for today's event. Thank you for joining us this year's 2022 Annual Meeting and Education Day, also known as AMED. We're once again hosting AMED entirely online. In doing so, we're happy to be reaching a wider audience and staying connected with our members across the province. Before I go over a few housekeeping items, I would first like to welcome Sandra Southwind, who will guide us through an intention for the day. Sandra?
Okay, so I don't usually do it like this, so welcome everybody, but I am going to be, my helper is going to be handing out the tobacco. If you're a lady and you're on your time, please don't take the tobacco. And I ask that you take the tobacco in your left hand like this. And so while I'm doing the prayer and the opening song, keep it in your hand, and then I'm going to have her go around and collect it afterwards. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going back up north, and I will take it and I'll burn it in sacred fire up there. So, just keep it in your hand, in your left hand. You can pick it up like this here, and that's what we're going to be doing. So I'll get you to hand that out. You'll be able to hear me. I do this quite often, trust me. So I'm going to light a smudge, and I'll go around. If anybody wants to smudge, by all means. If not, I can stand here and I can kind of smudge you from here. I don't know where I got this from, but trust me, it's like a torch. You want it smudge? You want it? You don't it though, it's okay. So what you're doing with the smudge is cleansing. So I'll start. So so basically what I'm saying is that my Anishinaabe name is Kimiwinkwe. So that means rain woman. And so I'm connected to the Thunderbirds, and also my clan is the Bear Clan. And Zamuk is Sagmuk First Nation. That's where I'm from. That's where I live. That's where I traveled from. So I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, so anyways, I'll get started. So I'm going to sing you a song. And what this here song does, it's calling in the spirits. So anytime that we have any kind of meeting, we usually call in the spirits, and what the spirits do is they come in and they'll be here while you have your meeting. And and then once I collect the tobacco, like I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to light a fire at my place. I'm going to burn that tobacco, and I'll continue to pray for you over there. So. So basically what that's doing is welcoming those spirits here from the ancestors, and they'll come in and they'll be with you secretly. So anyways, I just want to do a little bit of a teaching with you with regards to, and I kind of went over your agenda a little bit and kind of kept in line because I've been thinking about this for like 2 weeks now, if not more. Oh, what am I going to talk about when I get there? And I really depend on the spirit to really move me as to what I'm going to say here, because I don't make up a script or anything. I go as the spirit wants me to. So we know that, the medicine wheel has 4 quadrants. So you have your white. Your white's usually at the top. And then you have, this is the east. This is the south. And this is the west. So, I do this with our task force as well. And, I like to look at people in that realm. I look at them as being like a beautiful flower. That was what came to me one day when I was doing a teaching with them. I was like, everybody's like a beautiful flower, You all come from a different background. You all have your own story. You all have your own, way of doing things. Maybe your own ceremonies too, And whatever way you follow, there is no right or wrong way to pray. That's the way it is. So sometimes I feel a little guilty. I do the openings for the DEI, but I really think that each one of you could do it as well. Because you each bring a gift to the task force and to the social workers, right? So, anyways, I picked up my cloth and I thought, okay, I'm bringing this here with me, and that's what I wanted to talk about this morning. The other thing I want to kind of go along the line, and I did this teaching with somebody the other day, and we talked about the medicine wheel. So again, these are the colors on the medicine wheel. But each one of us has a medicine wheel inside of us. And each one of us, as social workers especially, we need to remember that self-care is really key in what we do. Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, how are we going to help other people? We know that we're helpers. We're natural helpers, right? And, so I'm working with a student, and I asked that student, I said, make me a medicine wheel. I said, and I want you to put in each quadrant, so in the north, the east, the south, and the west. I want you to put in there, how you're going to take care of it. So you have your mental, your physical, emotional, and spiritual. So if any of those is out of balance, you're out of balance. They all need to be in balance. And so what I've asked that student to do is like, okay, I want you to do that for me. I want you to expand on those areas because I really want you to show me, because you're going into that field of social worker. And right now she's a student, she's on a student placement with Zamak, like my community. And so she did a little something up to me, and I went over it yesterday with her yesterday morning, and I said to her, I said, okay, so let's expand on that. You know, so she went to the cultural people that are in the community, and she asked them, she said, can I have like a personal bundle? So a personal bundle is some almost like this. You know, you get a little fry pan, you get some sage, you get some sweetgrass, you get some cedar, you get some tobacco, and they put it in a nice little package for you. And it's called a personal bundle because you can take it out and you can use it yourself. So women, the women's is sage, you know, and that's what I use most of the time is the sage. So, you know, when we look at self-care and how important it is, and even in my work with the agency I'm with, I do that with other people as well. I talk about the personal bundle, I talk about the medicines, I talk about how important that is to us, and how important it is that we take care of ourselves. And, you know, with going into the direction that I think you are going today, you know, you're going to be looking at a lot of different things, you know. But, you know, I really want to honor each and every one of you here, you know, like we're all from a different background here. You know, everybody I'm looking at is from a different background, and I really want to honor you, you know, about that. Feel good about who you are, you know. You're a good person, you know, you bring a lot of gifts with you when you come into, you know, whatever work you know, when you come to this here, you're bringing in a lot of gifts. Sometimes we don't recognize those gifts inside of us, but we have them. Each one of us was given by the Creator. We were each given a gift. So, you know, keep that in mind today when you go about your day. And, you know, I know you are going to have a wonderful day. And I kind of wish that I had, you know, kind of planned it a little bit better because I would have liked to be with you a little bit more today. But I have a 6-hour drive. And if I don't leave soon, I'm going to hit all that traffic going down the road because people go to cottages and things like this. So usually when I would come to Toronto, I'd come up on a Friday and I would go back on a Sunday. And I don't come very often, trust me. And when I come up, all the traffic's going this way, but when I go back home up north, it's all going the other way. So I kind of miss it, right? But, you know, I was just really happy to be asked, you know, and these had, you know, passed me tobacco, and, you know, I was, they had sent me tobacco in the mail too. And it was a huge package. It will last me like a year, you know. And but it's really nice tobacco. It's leaves, and it hasn't got no chemicals in it. So, you know, where you get it's very important that you don't have chemicals on it when you're praying. Although, you know, we have to do what we have to do, right? But anyways, I challenge you today to look at self-care and what that looks like. Look at the medicine wheel. You can even type it in your browser, and they'll come up and it'll show you how to make your own medicine wheel, you know, and think about that, you know, when you go about your work today. So anyways, I say miigwech, and again, I am very honored to be here, and sorry, I'm really dry this morning. I'll have you collect it in here, and then I'm just gonna put this in on top of it so I can make sure that it's all together and not spewed all over my bag. So, and I will be leaving you, so I'm gonna pack up my stuff and I'm gonna sneak out. But you know, thank you for having me, miigwech.